The sky above Earth changed without warning. The blue color faded into a strange gray, and the clouds stopped moving as if time itself had slowed down. The wind became still. Birds disappeared from the air. Even the sound of the city below felt distant, like it was slowly being pulled away. People looked up, confused, but they could not understand what was happening. It was not a storm. It was not an attack. It was something else, something unknown. Far away from the city, standing on a quiet mountain, was Goku. He had been training calm and focused, pushing his limits like always. But suddenly he stopped. His body became still. His eyes narrowed slightly. He felt it, a strange energy moving through the air. It was not strong like the enemies he had faced before. It was different, cold, sharp, unclear. The narrator speaks in a low, steady tone. This was not power built on strength. This was something deeper, something Goku had never felt before. Goku slowly raised his head and looked at the sky. His senses tried to follow the energy, but it did not stay in one place. It moved in ways that did not make sense. It felt close and far at the same time. His breathing slowed. His instincts told him this was not normal. This was not a fight he understood. At the same time, far beyond Earth, in a place that did not follow the rules of reality, something else was happening. A dark space filled with shifting shadows and broken patterns slowly came to life. In the center of that space stood Ryomen Sukuna. He was calm, relaxed, sitting like a king in a world that belonged only to him. His eyes opened slowly and a faint smile appeared on his face. He felt it too, a different kind of energy, clean, strong, but simple. He tilted his head slightly curious. The narrator continues. Two worlds were about to touch, two powers that should never meet, were now aware of each other. Back on Earth, Goku took a step forward. The ground beneath his feet cracked slightly, not from power, but from tension. The air around him began to feel heavy. His energy started to rise, slowly at first, then more clearly. Not as an attack, but as a response. His body was preparing without him even thinking about it. He spoke softly to himself, trying to understand. This energy, it doesn't feel like anything I've faced before. The sky above him suddenly shifted again. A thin line appeared in the air, like space itself was being cut open. It started small, almost invisible, then slowly grew wider. The color inside it was not black, not white, but something deeper, something that did not belong to this world. The air around it pulled inward as if everything was being drawn toward it. Goku stepped back slightly, watching carefully. His eyes focused, his mind alert. This was not an enemy he could see. Not yet. The narrator speaks softly. Sometimes the most dangerous battles begin before the first move is made. The crack in space expanded suddenly. The ground shook. Rocks lifted into the air. The pressure increased so fast that even Goku had to react. He powered up slightly, his aura forming around him in a bright flash. But the moment his energy touched the crack, something strange happened. It did not react. It did not push back. It simply absorbed the presence of his power and continued growing. Goku's expression changed. For the first time, there was uncertainty. Before he could take another step, the force from the crack pulled stronger. The air rushed past him. The ground beneath him broke apart. He tried to move, but the pull was too fast, too sudden. In a single moment, his body was lifted off the ground and dragged toward the opening. He reached forward, trying to stop himself, but there was nothing to hold on to. The narrator continues. This was not an attack. This was an invitation. In the dark space beyond, Sukuna stood up slowly. His smile grew wider. He could feel the moment approaching. His voice echoed softly through his world. Finally, something interesting. Back on Earth, the crack expanded one last time. Goku's body was pulled completely into it. The light of his aura disappeared as he crossed the boundary. The sky above Earth returned to normal in an instant, as if nothing had happened. The wind moved again. The clouds drifted. The world continued, unaware of what had just begun. Inside the darkness, Goku's body fell for a brief second before stopping in midair. He opened his eyes slowly. Everything around him was different. The ground was not stable. The sky was not real. The air itself felt alive. He stood still, looking around, trying to understand where he was. The narrator lowers his voice. He was no longer on Earth. He was no longer in his world. And for the first time, Goku had stepped into a place where strength alone might not be enough. In the distance, a figure began to appear from the shadows, calm, confident, watching him, and the moment their eyes met, the real fight had already begun.
His energy rises, but he keeps it controlled. He looks around again, searching for the source. Show yourself. The shadows begin to move, slowly at first, then more clearly. They gather in one place, forming a shape. The ground beneath that spot cracks open slightly, and from the darkness a figure steps forward. It is Ryomen Sukuna. He walks with no urgency, no tension, like nothing here could ever threaten him. His eyes lock onto Goku immediately, and a small smile forms on his face. The narrator speaks softly. This was not the meeting of two fighters. This was the meeting of two completely different worlds. Goku watches him carefully. He can feel Sukuna's presence now, but it is strange. It does not feel like raw power. It feels sharp, precise, and dangerous in a way that is hard to measure. Sukuna stops a few steps away, his gaze steady. "So you're the one I felt." His voice is calm, but there is something behind it, something confident. Goku does not answer right away. He studies him instead. "You brought me here." Sukuna tilts his head slightly, amused. "Brought you?" "No, you stepped into my world." The words hang in the air. Goku processes them quickly. This place belongs to him. That explains the strange feeling, the unstable ground, the shifting sky. Everything here responds to Sukuna. The narrator continues. Goku had faced strong enemies before, but never one who controlled the battlefield itself so completely. Goku lifts his energy a little more, testing the space again. This time the reaction is stronger. The air around him tightens, pushing back against his aura. It is not stopping him, but it is limiting him. He understands now. Fighting here will not be simple. Sukuna notices the change and smiles wider. He takes one step forward and the ground beneath him settles instantly as if it obeys him. You can try to fight, but here. He pauses for a second, his eyes narrowing slightly. I decide how things work. The space around them shifts again. Walls of shadow rise in the distance. The ground stretches, then tightens, changing shape without warning. Goku's stance becomes firmer. His focus sharpens. He is no longer confused. He is ready. The narrator speaks with quiet intensity. The moment of understanding had arrived. This was not a normal fight. This was a test of more than strength. Goku takes a deep breath. His energy stabilizes, adapting to the pressure around him. He looks directly at Sukuna, calm but serious. "Then I'll just have to break your rules." Sukuna's smile does not fade. Instead, it becomes sharper. "I'd like to see you try." The air goes silent. No movement, no sound. Just two figures standing face to face in a world that should not exist. Then, in a single instant, Goku disappears forward, moving faster than sight. The ground cracks under the force of his step. The fight has begun. The moment Goku moves, the entire space reacts like it was waiting for this exact instant. The ground splits slightly under his speed, but there is no normal destruction. Everything behaves strangely, like the world is observing instead of resisting. Goku appears in front of Ryomen Sukuna in less than a second, his fist already moving forward with controlled power. But Sukuna is not where he should be. He is gone. The attack passes through empty space. Behind Goku, a voice speaks calmly. "Too slow." Goku turns instantly, his eyes sharp. Sukuna is standing a few meters away, hands relaxed, almost bored. The narrator speaks in a low tone. This was not just speed difference. This was control over space itself. Goku's expression tightens. He does not waste time thinking. He adjusts immediately, vanishing again, this time appearing above Sukuna with a downward strike. The impact hits the ground, but Sukuna is already gone again. The space cracks slightly where the attack lands, but Sukuna reappears on the side untouched. He looks at the damage casually, then back at Goku. "You rely on movement. That will not help you here." Goku lands on the ground, his breathing steady but focused. He is analyzing now. This place does not follow normal rules. Every attack is being read before it happens. The narrator continues. In battles, Goku knew power decided everything. But here, power was not the only factor. Sukuna raises his hand slightly and the environment responds. The ground behind Goku suddenly shifts, forming a sharp pressure wave that moves like a blade. Goku senses it and dodges just in time, the attack slicing the space where he was standing a moment ago. He steps back, increasing distance. His aura begins to rise again, stronger this time. The air around him glows faintly as he prepares to adjust his strategy. Sukuna watches carefully, his smile still present but now more focused. "Good. You are learning." Goku does not respond. His eyes are locked in. He is not just fighting a person anymore. He is fighting the rules of this place. He powers up slightly, his energy expanding outward in a controlled wave. The ground shakes under the pressure, but the effect is unstable. The space reacts differently again. Instead of breaking, it bends. His energy spreads, but it is being redirected, not fully released. Goku notices this immediately. The narrator speaks softly. Even raw strength had limits in a world that rewrites itself. Sukuna moves forward for the first time, slowly, confidently. Each step feels heavier, like the world itself is giving him permission. As he approaches, the space behind him shifts, forming invisible lines of pressure. Goku senses it and prepares. Sukuna speaks calmly. "You still think this is about speed and strength? That belief will end you." Goku responds for the first time with action instead of words. He charges forward again, this time mixing speed with prediction. He moves not where Sukuna is, but where he will be. His fist connects. For a moment, silence. Then Sukuna is pushed back slightly, not much but enough to show impact. The ground behind Sukuna cracks for the first time. Goku's eyes widen slightly. It worked. Sukuna steadies himself, looking at the damage with mild interest. "So you can adapt." The tone has changed, slightly more serious now. The narrator continues. The first real crack in control had appeared, but Sukuna was not finished. The space around them suddenly darkens. The air becomes heavier again, but this time more controlled. Sukuna lifts his hand fully now, and the environment responds instantly. The battlefield changes shape. Walls of pressure rise, forming a closed domain around them. Goku feels it immediately. Escape routes vanish. Space tightens. The rules are being rewritten again. Sukuna speaks clearly. "Now let's stop playing." Goku takes a slow breath. He understands now. This is not just a fight. It is a controlled environment designed to break opponents step by step. His aura rises again, stronger, pushing against the pressure. The ground beneath him cracks under his energy alone. The narrator speaks in a serious tone. When control meets resistance, only one truth remains. Goku disappears again, faster than before. This time, Sukuna reacts immediately. Their clash begins midair. Strike meets strike. Shockwaves spread through the domain. Space bends violently with every collision. Goku adjusts his rhythm, refusing to let the environment dictate the fight. Sukuna counters smoothly, always one step ahead. The battle becomes a pattern of attack and response, movement and correction. Neither side fully dominating, but the space itself begins to struggle. Cracks spread through the domain, not from destruction but from imbalance. The narrator continues. A battle between two different laws of power cannot remain stable forever. Goku pushes forward again, this time increasing his speed beyond the previous limit. His aura flares brighter, forcing space to react harder. Sukuna finally shows a more serious expression. The domain shakes under pressure. For the first time, Sukuna takes a step back instead of forward. Goku notices it immediately. A small opening. He moves toward it without hesitation. The clash intensifies. Light and shadow collide in controlled chaos. And in that moment, both fighters realize something important. This fight is no longer predictable, and the ending is starting to change shape. The battlefield inside Sukuna's domain is no longer stable. The air itself feels torn between two forces, as if reality cannot decide what it should become. Every movement creates pressure waves that bend space for a moment before snapping back into place. Goku stands firm, his breathing controlled, eyes locked on his opponent. He has already understood one thing clearly. This fight is not about simple strength anymore. It is about control over existence itself. Across from him, Ryomen Sukuna watches carefully, his expression calm but sharper now. The casual boredom is gone. What remains is focus. The narrator speaks in a low, serious tone. When two forces stop playing and start adapting, the battlefield becomes something else entirely. Sukuna lifts his hand slightly, and the domain responds immediately. The space around Goku tightens again, not attacking directly but limiting movement. Invisible pressure lines appear in the air like a cage forming around him. Goku senses it instantly and moves, but this time the space reacts faster. A sudden pressure strike hits his side, forcing him back a few steps. Not enough to hurt badly, but enough to show control. Goku stabilizes himself quickly. His eyes narrow. This world is constantly rewriting itself around Sukuna's will. Every attack Goku makes is being read and adjusted against. The narrator continues. A normal fighter would struggle here, But Goku is not normal. He adjusts his breathing and shifts his stance. His energy begins to change again. Instead of raw output, he starts compressing it, making it denser, more focused. The aura around him tightens instead of expanding. Sukuna notices this change immediately. Interesting, you are learning faster than expected. Goku does not respond. He disappears forward again, but this time his movement is not just speed, it is prediction. He moves where Sukuna will appear, not where he is. For a moment it works. Goku's strike connects cleanly. Sukuna is pushed back, sliding across the air itself before regaining balance. The domain reacts instantly, trying to stabilize him, but a visible crack appears in the structure of the space behind Sukuna. Goku sees it, the first real weakness. The narrator speaks softly. Even absolute control has limits when pressure becomes constant. Sukuna touches the cracked space with his hand. The domain repairs itself quickly but not perfectly. Small instability remains. His eyes sharpen slightly. Now he understands Goku's approach. You are not just reacting, you are learning the structure. Goku finally speaks. This place is built to stop movement. Sukuna smiles faintly. Correct. Goku's energy rises again, but more controlled than before. The ground beneath him trembles slightly, not breaking but resisting. He pushes forward again. This time, Sukuna counters instantly. The space between them twists, and Goku is forced to dodge a slicing pressure wave that cuts through the air where his head was a second ago. The attack does not leave a visible trail. It simply removes space. Goku lands, sliding back slightly, eyes sharper now. This is different from anything he has faced before. The narrator continues. Power alone was not enough here. Understanding was becoming the real weapon. Sukuna begins walking forward slowly. Each step changes the domain slightly. The pressure increases. The battlefield is being reset under his control. Goku feels it immediately. His movement options are shrinking. He powers up again, aura flaring brighter. The domain reacts, but this time Goku forces his energy outward instead of reacting inward. The clash of pressure becomes visible in the air. Sukuna raises his hand slightly, and multiple invisible strikes appear around Goku from different angles. Goku moves fast, blocking and dodging, but one hit lands on his shoulder, pushing him back. He steadies himself, not injured badly, but now fully aware. Sukuna is not just attacking, he is shaping the fight. The narrator speaks in a deeper tone. When one side controls the space, every mistake becomes permanent. Goku closes his eyes for a fraction of a second. When he opens them, his energy changes again. This time, it is not just power or control, it is awareness. He starts reading the pattern of the domain itself. Every shift, every pressure line, every delay. Sukuna notices the change immediately. His expression becomes more serious. Goku moves again, but now his timing is different. He is no longer reacting to attacks. He is moving between them. The battlefield becomes faster, more intense. Both fighters exchange blows in rapid sequence. Space cracks more visibly now. The domain is reaching its limit. Sukuna finally steps back slightly, breaking the rhythm for the first time. Goku notices it instantly. Another opening. The narrator continues. In battles like this, hesitation is the only real weakness. Goku pushes forward with full focus. His aura compresses again, forming a concentrated burst. Sukuna prepares to respond, but the domain itself begins to destabilize under the pressure of both forces. Cracks spread everywhere now. Light flickers through broken space. The structure is failing. Sukuna looks around briefly. For the first time, something like uncertainty appears. Not fear, but calculation. Goku senses it too. The balance is shifting. The fight is no longer inside Sukuna's control. It is becoming something neither of them can fully predict. And in that unstable moment, both realize the same truth. This battle is approaching a point of no return.